Kylie, thank you so much. I'm on the other side of the studio catching up with our good friend, Home Depot Debbie. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
You are going to solve all of our problems with hanging pictures because this is one of my least favorite things to do.
It's for most people, you know, they don't like to do it, but there's so many tools and easy ways to make it easier. So usually when you're deciding to hang up pictures, mirrors, anything like that, you have your standard tools. So you're going to have a hammer, you're going to have a stud finder, tape measure, screwdriver, pencil, and a level.
Okay.
Really helps. So there's a couple things that are going to make your life a little easier. So a stud finder, you know, with hanging pictures, sometimes you need a stud and sometimes you don't. And with most of the hooks I'm going to be showing, they work by counterbalance, so you don't need a stud. And sometimes the stud will get in the way. But if you do need one, you want to use your stud finder. These are the best ones, and you put it against the wall, press the button on the side, and then just bring it over, and it will, boom, there you go. And this will tell you where it's in the center. Then you just mark it, and you know if you need a stud, that's where it is, or if you need to avoid one, that's where it is.
So I feel like I mean, if you were to go to my house and take the pictures off the wall, you would see like 6 holes of where I was trying to find. How do you know if you need a stud or you don't need a stud?
So for something that's super heavy,
okay,
depending on the hook that you can use a counterbalance hook, or you want to make sure you put the nail or the hook into a stud so that it bears weight.
Okay.
And depending on how heavy the piece is, that will determine whether you need to put it in a stud or not. Now, some pictures come with hooks on the sides, 2 hooks. Those are the worst because getting it level, measuring it properly. So I have 2 ways to do those. So this is a little hack. You can use some blue painter's tape and you put a mark right where both hooks are. Then you take the tape off, and if you would remove the picture, we'll just put this down right here. Then you take the tape and you put it on the wall where you want the picture, and you want to definitely make sure it's level. So you can either use your hand level, like so, and you're going to make sure the tape is level before you put, or we have the laser level, and this one's really fun. So this has a little suction cup on the back and an on-off switch. So you're going to put this on the wall, press the button, and it stays right where it is and tells you when it's level. And you just mark the level with the built-in level right there. So this tool is really nice to make sure everything is straight.
Okay.
Now, the other way to do 2 hooks is to use this new device called Hang-O-Matic. Now, this is a tape measure that has 2 pins on the back and a level in the middle. So you put the points where the 2 hooks are, like so. Then you're going to bring that over to the wall, and you just punch this into the wall a little, and it makes a little mark, but you have the level in the middle to make sure it's level. So basically, you can't mess this up. The wide stance is correct, the level is correct, and then you're ready to go.
Okay.
So those are 2 ways if you have 2 hooks. Now, if you have 2 hooks and you don't want to mess with that, you can add a wire between the hooks, and then you just need a regular picture hook to hang it, which does also make it a lot easier. So, another way to do it, this is called a monkey hook. Now, the monkey hooks are worked by counterbalance. So what this does, you punch this through the drywall, and it goes in pretty easy. You're just going to push it in like so with your hand. It doesn't need a tool. And once you get it through, it kind of pushes in.
Oh, that's great.
And then it comes through the wall and comes back, so it holds a lot of weight, and you have a bare weight hook.
And most of these, like a lot of these hooks and labels, it'll show you how many pounds it can hold, right? Like this says right on the label, 100 pounds.
Right.
So this is 35 pounds.
Exactly.
That's a pretty good amount too.
Yeah, it's a very good amount.
Okay.
And we have up to 100 and 200 pounds.
Wow.
So there's so many, you want to get the right hook for the right project. And so when you do that, there's so many to choose from. You're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Just like you say, you go by the weight, and then these monkey hooks make it so easy to just push it in, and then it works by counterbalance.
Okay.
And then coming up in the next segment, I'm going to talk about all the different types of hooks that will really make any project so easy.
Okay, great. Well, this is going to be a huge help. Next time I move, I'm going to go back. I'm going to watch this segment because this can be a really tough part. So, Debbie, thank you so much.
Thank you. Olivia, Tess.
Cool. Well, I'm just catching up with Debbie and asking her whose house she's been to like help fix. So Scott, Olivia, Tess, maybe Kylie. You know, she needs help with the picture frames. But we're happy to have Debbie here with Home Depot to talk a little bit about hooks, how to get things right in the walls so you
Right.
don't create problems in
Yes.
the home.
So over here, I just have some samples of some pictures, and you can see there's some things that don't weigh that much. This is just a little mirror, and you can use command hooks for those, or light pictures. They work great, and they come off easy, and then up to like 16 pounds, those work really well. And then stuff like this that has a string on it, just a little hook will do. Then there's some that have the wire, and then there's the sawtooth, which is the old school.
Yeah.
So you just have to determine, okay, this is what I have, and what hook do I need for that? So a product that's newer is the 3M Claw. Now these hold things up to 15, 25, 45, and 65. So you're gonna know what, how much your piece weighs and then determine it. Now to install this hook, it's got 2 little claws on it, hence the name. So what you're gonna do, and no tools necessary,
Okay.
you're just going to put it into the drywall with 2 thumbs at the corner. You just push in, and it might take a little bit of strength, and then once it's in, it is really tight.
Wow. And this works if you have just with drywall, correct?
Just drywall,
Okay.
yep. And these, even if there's a stud behind it, the claws are not thicker than the drywall, so you can put them anywhere. You don't have to worry about anything. Then, this is my favorite hooks of all time are Ooks, O-O-K. And that's the brand name for these hooks. And they hold, these are 10, 30, 50, and 100. They even have a 200. And with that, all you have to do is have the pins that go in them. And you can see here, I'm gonna show you one just like this. You can see the pins go down on an angle. So what's happening is when it goes down on an angle, it works on counterbalance. This hook holds up to 100 pounds by itself. So, and you're just going to tap in from the top on an angle down, and then it will hold all that weight. This also is another type of hook, which goes in on an angle, and then you just hook onto the nail. So these are just regular nails, finish nails. Now, if you have a box of finished nails and you want to hang some stuff, that's fine. But again, you want to go in down on an angle, which will give you that counterbalance to help. This screw is really one of my favorites also. This is a pre-drilling screw, and it will hold up to 100 pounds. And when it goes in, you can see right here, it leaves the screw part out a little bit and has a flange at the back, so whatever you hang on there gives you a little room for the rope and such.
So do you always want to go in at an angle,
Yes,
always?
yes.
Wow, I've been doing this wrong for
Yeah.
so long.
Like these that are hold up to 100 pounds, those are made to go in straight.
Okay.
But hooks, nails, everything, if it has some counterbalance, it will hold more weight without pulling out of the wall.
Gotcha.
So it really makes it nice. Now, if you do need an anchor that holds a lot of weight, this is my favorite anchor. This is a metal easy anchor is what it's called, and you don't have to punch a hole, you don't have to do anything. You just screw it right in to the wall, to the drywall, then put your, whatever it is, your thing, and then the screw goes into the anchor and holds so much weight.
Yeah. There's nothing more satisfying than this. Like
Yes.
getting it in there on the first time, like
Yep.
solidly in the wall is just
Right,
a
and these do
fabulous
hold a lot
feeling.
of weight as well.
Okay.
Now they do come in plastic. I'm not a fan of the plastic because they bend and don't hold as much weight. So if you can, get the metal ones because they work much better.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
Hopefully I'm not embarrassing my mother who's watching this like, oh my gosh, you've been doing this all wrong for so long.
Well, also, you can get just, these are multi-packs,
Okay.
but they're all the same weight. But you can get just a little box that has all different weights, and then that will give you a lot of variety for different size pieces if you're not hanging up, all the same thing all
Yeah.
over. So the multi-packs work great as well. I'm gonna have all the information on my Home Depot Debbie Facebook page and
Okay.
Instagram. Find me at
Okay.
Arrowhead Ranch Home Depot.
Thank you so much,
You're
Debbie.
welcome.
Always great to have you. So next stop, Kylie's house, I think, right, Kylie?
Sure.
Do you want me to
All
nails?
right.
What do you need? Okay.
Perfect. I've
We'll be
got
there.
some pictures that have needed to be put on the walls for months. I get scared. I don't want to ruin it. Put all these holes up. Anyway,